everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my December TBR, which honestly, these are my favorite type of videos to film. I get really excited to see everything that I will be reading. As you guys already know, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos. Also, go ahead and turn on notifications so you guys can be updated every single time I upload, and I will also have all of my social media down below so you guys can go ahead and follow me there, along with my Goodreads account so you can follow my reading journey. And with all that being said, we can get straight to my TBR. Let's go. If you guys are sort of familiar with my videos and the type of reading that I do, you guys are aware that I'm more of a thriller mystery type of reader. That's just the genre that I prefer. But this month, because it is December, I decided to include more romance and just, I want to say fluffy feel-good reads, but that's not necessarily true because I have some emotional reads. So let's just get started. So the first book that I have for this month is One by One by Ruth Ware. I will be posting a picture of it right here because my physical copy has not arrived yet. It was actually my add-on for Book of the Month for December, and so it's not going to arrive until I believe like the 12th or the 14th. But I'm really excited about this book. I have been wanting to read it for a while now, but I just kept putting it off. I know it was one of the I forgot the name of the book club, the Literally Dead book club, I believe, which is run by my favorite booktuber of all time, which is Books and Lala, and I've just really been wanting to read it since I saw that it was a pick that she did. So this book is about essentially there's like a group of co-workers that take a trip, not sure where, I think to like a cabin, and weird things start happening. People are dying one at a time. We're trying to figure out who's behind the killing, and I believe they get stuck, it's like snowed in the cabin, so there's no way out, and people are just like dying. So obviously really up my aisle, something that is just what I like to read, so I'm really excited for it. So we'll be reading that. Again, I'm waiting for my physical copy. Cross your fingers that it comes pretty soon. Alright, now on to the physical books. So the second book I have, One Day in December by Josie Silver, and this is more obviously of like a romance type of book. I picked this up, I feel like a while now, either 3 or 2 months ago, and I picked it up after reading The Two Lives of Lydia Bird, which was one of my all-time favorite books of this year. I loved it so much. I love the style of the writing of Josie Silver, and so I read the synopsis and I knew I had loved, okay, what is this hair doing? I don't know what to do with my hair anymore, to be honest, you guys. Okay, back on topic. I just loved her writing style and the book overall of Lydia Bird, that I just thought that this would be an obvious pick for me. I've been eyeing it in my bookshelves for a really long time, but I knew I wanted to save it for December. And this is a book about, we are following, I don't know the main characters, Lori. Her name is Lori. So we are following Lori, who one day sees a man in a bus. They kind of look at each other and she kind of sort of forms a connection by that, and for the next year she is hunting this man down because she feels like they really had a connection, and she can't find him. And one day her best friend decides to introduce her to her fiance, and when they meet, turns out that he's the man. So I think it's going to be sort of a love triangle, maybe a forbidden romance, because it is her best friend's now fiance. So it kind of gives me a little bit of Something Borrowed vibes, except she and him have never actually met. But I loved that movie, loved that concept of that whole story, and for some reason I'm getting those vibes. And again, my favorite book of the year was by Josie Silver this year, so I have high hopes for this book. So the third book on my list is The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and this sort of reminds me a lot of the same concept or plot of One by One, which is we have a wedding happening in this remote island, and we have 5 suspects who have motive to have killed someone. And I believe throughout the book you don't know who dies, but you get everybody's perspective. Not sure, but that's how I think I've seen reviews talked about that. Not 100% sure, but again, same idea that someone dies and we're trying to figure out who has the most motive, who's the killer. And yeah, again, something that it's a read that it's very common for me. So really excited about it. I have been trying to read it since October, and it always gets left behind. I don't know why. This month, I'm making it happen. I know I am. Okay. Alright, the next book that I have is All This Time by Mickey Daughtry and Rachel Lemcott. And they're the writers of 5 Feet Apart, which you guys know, it's like a heartbreaking story. So I'm assuming this is going to be an emotional read. It is a romance and kind of like self-growth and self-healing type of book. But I feel like it's going to be emotional. So I believe we're following Kyle, right? Yes, so Kyle has a girlfriend, her name is Kimberly, and they're kind of sort of the perfect couple, but one day she decides that it's just over. It's over, and she wants to find herself, move on to different relationships, and the day or the night that she breaks up with him, they get in a car crash and Kimberly dies. And so he's going through grief and just knowing that, you know, that night his heart was broken because she broke up with him, and also he lost her forever because she died. So as he's going through all this grief and all this emotions, he meets this girl, her name is Marley, who is also going through something similar, as in she also lost someone, she's grieving. And so with that, they kind of create a connection, get closer to each other, they're healing each other, they're helping each other kind of move on from this. And I don't know, it seems interesting. I know towards the end of the synopsis it says that Kyle is not sure that he can have a relationship with, what's her name again? Marley, because he feels like he's bound to lose her again, maybe, or like for something to like happen and destroy his happiness yet again. So yeah, it seems like an interesting read. Again, pretty sure it will be emotional. Pretty sure I will shed some tears. I hope so, actually. I want that kind of book that just hit homes, you know? Hits me good. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we have The Whisper Man by Alex North, and this was recommended in one of Noelle Gallagher's videos here on BookTube, and I absolutely love her. And she kind of raved about this book. She said it was really awesome, and I don't know much. I think what it's about is this town where there's like a man on the loose kidnapping little boys. So we have that mystery happening in this town, and we're also following this family who is moving to this town who also has a little boy. At the same time that you're trying to figure out who this like child killer is, you're also following the story of the family and sort of knowing all along that the child is probably also gonna get abducted. So I think that's how I understood it. I might be wrong, but I will be reading it this month, so I'm excited. Next up, we have Sadie by Courtney Summers, and I actually really want to read it this month because I believe she's coming out with a new book on either January or February. I'm not even sure what the name of the book is, but I just kind of want to get a sense of her writing, and so this is a book that is kind of highly on my TBR this month. I need to read it. And again, it's another mystery abduction book. Those are just books that call me. I don't know why. It's just really interesting. I love like the ID channel and all of that. And this book, we are following a man who has a podcast, I believe. He runs podcasts, right? I think so. And his podcast is about mysteries and finding out things. Don't quote me. I think that's what it's about. I might be wrong. I don't know. But Sadie is a missing child. Not really. Her little sister was killed, and so she's on the run to try to find out or find this man and get revenge for her sister's murder. And so this man, his name is West, is contacted to find Sadie, and so he is looking for her to avoid her from coming with the same fate as her sister. So essentially he's trying to help her. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope that was a good explanation because it didn't really make sense to me right now that it came out of my mouth. So I'm hoping you guys kind of figure it out. So again, it's sort of a mystery abduction type of book, and we are going to be following both the perspective of West trying to look for Sadie and the perspective of Sadie trying to find this murderer. So really interesting. I have a feeling I'm really going to like it. I actually have another book by her that I need to read that I'm really excited about as well. So that is Sadie, everyone. The last book on this TBR is In a Holidays. I think it's called. I believe it's by. Don't know who it's by. I'm going to post a picture. And I was not going to include this in my TBR for this month. Just because I didn't really think it was something that I liked, but I just watched Haley and Bookland's TBR, and she included this, and she just convinced me, and I thought I need kind of a holiday feel-good book. I have very intense books, so I need something that makes me happy. So I will be reading In a Holidays, and it's by Christina Lauren. And I believe this is about, not sure, I think she is going on a holiday with her family. And she is really troubled. No, she just doesn't really feel like her life is the way she had planned all along. I think. I'm not sure. So she kind of puts it out into the universe to help her out, to just have, I guess, a better life. I'm not sure. And she gets stuck in this, like, time loop. So her days keep repeating itself until she makes it right, I guess. I don't know. It's going to be a romance. It's a contemporary romance with a little bit of a fantasy, like, twist in there. Sorry, I couldn't figure out what word I wanted to use. Twist. And it seems like a really easy read. Probably not something I will love because, like Haley and Bookland said, it's kind of like a Hallmark type of book. And let's not forget my experience with Again But Better, which was sort of the same concept, and I freaking hated that book. And if you don't know, this is the book that I'm talking about. Again But Better by Christine Riccio, which was probably the worst read of the year, if not of my life. So, feel like it might have a little bit of those vibes. So, we'll see. I hope for the best. I'm still going to read it. And, yeah, that is all for this month's video. This month's TBR video. I don't know where my head is. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time with my next video. Bye, everyone.